So let's talk about some critical events. So prime over here, we have on our trucks, you can get some critical events. So what are those? And what happens if I get them on TNT? If you're on TNT and you get a critical event, they can add 10,000 extra miles to your training. So instead of 30,000 miles, you might end up with 40,000 miles, depending on how many you get. Sometimes they won't give you the extra miles, sometimes they will. So some of the critical events that we get is if you're doing over 75 miles per hour, you get a overspeed. So when you get that one, you know, they'll give you 10,000 miles extra. So it's not good. Then there's a excessive speed, like really overspeed, and that happens at above 80. And I had one student get sent home for doing over 80. It was his first offense, and he said, well, the speed limit was 80. So he was up on, I forgot what mountain he was on. He was on, speed limit was over 80. He went super fast down that mountain, and they sent him a message, hey, you got a critical event for going this speed, and we're going to send you home. So, you know, it wasn't good. So that's two of them is for speed. Two of them are for speed. You got the 75 and you got the 80. If you go above 70, I don't even think it's good to go above 70. I tell my students, keep it 75. Wow, I'm just telling you that they're going faster now. I tell my students, make sure that you keep it below 65. Once you hit that 70 mark, you're already going too fast in my book. So, you know, it also boils down to paying attention to your speed. You don't want to not be paying attention to how fast you're going down a grade. Like, we got the Jake brake, we got all that, so like, use it, slow yourself down. It's always better to take away too much speed and let yourself gain back up than not take away enough speed. So that's two of them is about speed. Be safe out there. Another one is the hard brake. So if you hit the brake hard enough to drop you 20 miles per hour in less than like a second, I forgot what the actual time was, then you're gonna get a critical event for that. So pretty much the times that happens is like, say you make a bad decision on a light, it turned yellow and you're all like, I'm gonna stop, but you're right on it, and you just slam on that brake, you're gonna get a critical event. It's gonna send Prime a message, boom, 10,000 extra miles if you're on TNT. So we really don't want that to happen either. Like, that's not good. Plus you gotta think about your freight in there. You might knock over some pallets, stuff like that. So you got the hard brake, and then you have the one where it's a real hard, like the truck brakes you because you might have got too close to a car in front of you, and you're cruising along, you're not paying attention to your following distance, you get way too fast, the truck thinks you're going to hit that car, so the truck's going to slam on the brakes. You're going to be like, boom, what happened? Guess what? You were way too close to the car in front of you. So the truck will actually slam on the brakes. So that's another critical event. Watch your following distance. Don't get too close to people. Do not do that. And then the last one I know of is the rollover warning. So a lot of people get those rollover warnings. It boils down to turning most of the time, or curves in the road. Like, if the curve says a certain speed, like say it says 50, do 5 under it. That way you're not going too fast on that curve, and you get a stability control critical event. That's what it's called. But it's pretty much a rollover. The truck thought that you were about to roll over. It'll actually push on the brake, and it'll give you the critical event for a rollover. And you know, that's not good. You can also get that for turning too fast. I had a student turn one time at it, like, I think it was like probably 18 miles an hour. He started the turn, and I said, hey, slow down. And I guess he thought the gas pedal was the brake, because he just floored it. He said, boom, it went even faster, and the truck was like, beep, beep. I said, well, You messed up. But it's okay because he was in the PSD phase. He's still learning it. It was kind of not, it wasn't too fun. I had him call the fleet manager. He talked to the fleet manager about it, about how fast he was turning and why he was turning that fast and how he needed to slow down and be safer. So not only does it give you extra miles in TNT, but we got a thing at Prime called the top 200 list. You don't want to be on the top 200 list. It's compiling a bunch of data, like all the critical events you get and stuff like that. It's all compiled into like a data system. Like if you get a ticket, if you skip a weigh station, if you get into an accident, you get put on the top 200 list. The top 200, they're really watching you because they're trying to find out why you're having problems out there. So they're going to try to find out why you're having problems. And then they'll bring you right here to Springfield, Missouri. They'll do an eval on you. So they'll have some of the examiners take you on a ride to see what's really going on, to see why you're having so many issues. So just be careful out there. Stop getting those critical events, you know. And also know about the critical events, because I hear people all the time, hey, I didn't know there was a such thing as a critical event. I didn't know it would tell my fleet manager. Why are you doing it in the beginning? You know, drive safe. So definitely, you know, educate yourself on the critical events, and don't be part of the top 200, because I never want to see like anyone have to go through that, have to get an eval, be super nervous like it. Man, if I don't pass this eval, I'm gonna lose my job. You know, I don't want to see nobody lose their job like that. Now, I think for the most part, everyone passes the eval, from what I understand. So, you know, it's pretty much they take you on a drive, check out how you drive, make sure that you're being safe. They take you on a drive, they bring you over here to the pad, they have you back to trailer into a spot. You know, just simple stuff like that. They make sure that you're being safe. You know, don't take it as a bad thing. Don't take it like that. Just take it as a learning experience, and hey, how to better yourself. Like, get yourself safe. Make sure you're doing the right thing. That's all we ask, is to have safe drivers. I've also heard of them putting people back through TNT because, like, say you just barely got your own truck and you start messing up a lot and getting critical events and, you know, stuff like that. They did it to one of my students. Like, he was all excited. He called me one week. He said, hey, I got my own truck. Like, I'm super excited. The next day he was backing into a spot, and he got too close to somebody's hood mirror and broke it off. So, like, he kind of tore up somebody's hood mirror, and he had some critical events. So they brought him back, and you know, that's what happened. But that's a little bit about the critical events. If you like my videos, hit the like button, leave some comments, subscribe, definitely subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Old Trucking Game. Check him out on his YouTube channel, all about trucking, because we know that you want to be a trucker. And if you want to be a trucker, there's only one place to go. And head on over to Twisted Big D. Twisted Big D?